name is Ethan Anderson, and I work full-time as a student pastor. And so something that's kind of cool that's come out lately is there's a new operating system for your iPhone or your iPad. And that's awesome because a majority of us have a smartphone. Statistics show us that 95% of Americans have a phone, and all but 17% of that are smartphones. And a lot of those are iPhones. A lot of people have iPhones just because they're easy to use, different things like that. But what's really cool is that they have released a new thing in their new operating system where you can track the amount of time you spend on your phone. And that's cool, and it's also really convicting, right? So I've downloaded it, I've looked at it, and what's really awesome about that is you can do a lot of different things with that. So it's called screen time is what it's called. You can find it in your settings, and I'm going to walk through that in this video so you guys can see that. But the reason why it's really cool is because you can see where you're spending your time on your phone. You can also set up ways to limit that time to where if I'm spending 4 hours a day on Facebook, I can limit that to where I might spend an hour a day on Facebook. And I might even be able to cut that back further so that we break this addiction that we have. It's really heartbreaking, really convicting. The more I spend time with students, the more I spend time with families, I see that in them and even in myself, I have an addiction to my phone and to social media and things like that. And so this is a really awesome thing that Apple has come out with that is already on your phone. You don't have to pay money to do this, where you can track the amount of time you're spending. You can set up blockers to where you can only spend a certain amount of time on it a day. You can set up this thing where after a certain time, only certain apps are allowed. You can also set up restrictions to where you can't download anything new without permission from a parent. You can't make in-app purchases. And you can't look at anything inappropriate, watch anything inappropriate on your browsing app, and just different things like that. And this is a really big deal, guys, because we are addicted to social media. Something we see is that roughly half of all of those people who use social media from the ages 18 to 24 say that it would be really hard to give up social media. Young people say it would be really hard to give up social media. The statistic doesn't change much for older people either, the older generation that uses social media, but they say it'd be slightly easier than the young generation. We also see that 51% of people who have Facebook, a little bit over half of people who have Facebook, which is a majority of Americans, say they visit it multiple times a day. Guys, if we look at how much time we're spending on social media, how much time we're spending with our face in our phone, whether that's social media or texting or games or whatever it could be, we really see how much life we're missing out on and what we could be doing to further the kingdom, what we could be doing to further our relationships with family and friends and all these other things. So guys, I'm really excited about this new feature, and it's a really big deal. So please take a look at this, and I hope that this can help you out. It helps me out. I hope it can help you out and help your family out. The first thing you're going to want to do is unlock your iPhone or iPad, and you're going to want to pull up the Settings app. If you've already upgraded to iOS 12, you're going to be able to see it right away. But if not, you're going to want to upgrade to iOS 12 first. As you see, I kind of tap on some different things so that you can see some of the things that are around it. But when you go to screen time, you're going to be able to see all the new things that you can do. Then you can see where you can set up downtime. In downtime, you can set a scheduled time away from the screen. So you can set a start time and an end time. And that will be when they can't use those certain apps. Here's the next thing where you can see app limits, where you can choose how much time they spend on certain apps, whether it's social networking, games, and so forth. So you can make it to where they can spend 4 minutes or less. It just depends on what you want to do. Here, you can see what apps can always be allowed or only sometimes be allowed. So you can let all the apps be allowed at all times, or you can, for example, let Messenger be allowed at all times, but let games be shut off at 9 o'clock at night, for example. Something that I really like about this is the content and privacy restrictions. Here you can set up a lot of different things. Allow them to not download apps unless you approve it. You can do it to where they can't change passwords unless you approve it. You can also make sure that they cannot get on any inappropriate websites or anything like that while they're using the internet on their phone. So the final step is to set up a passcode. I would make sure you remember this passcode and write it down somewhere because you cannot change anything unless you put this passcode back in. I'm really glad that you watched this video. I hope that this is beneficial for you in some way, whether you're trying to help your family learn more screen time and better discipline and habits, or for you personally. If you guys have any questions or need any help or anything like that, don't hesitate to contact me in some way, whether that's email or anything like that. I would love to help out. Thanks for watching.